Hi, this is Eric Tejeda with PossibleNOW, and today we have the privilege to visit with Eric Holtzclaw. Eric Holtzclaw is the Vice President and General Manager of PossibleNOW's Preference Management Professional Services Organization. His book, called Laddering Works, is scheduled for release in July 2013. Eric, welcome.
Thanks. Well, what I would say is that it's been traditionally around what. So what happened when I put out a marketing campaign, how many people saw an event or went to an experience. And the problem with that is you don't understand why those consumers participated and maybe even how they participated. Often the participation is not a direct reflection of what the marketing campaign was trying to accomplish. It's more about the consumer. So they're trying to do something that is inherent to who they are at their core, or what they want, or their desires. And they can really do that in kind of this multi-channel, cross-channel world. I've worked with lots of customers who have campaigns that look incredibly successful. They have 3 million impressions, but maybe only 15,000 people participated. And it was because the marketing campaign really didn't resonate with the group that associated to that brand or to that product in the right way. At my heart, I'm a qualitative guy. So I believe in a quality relationship with our customers. Instead of thinking about them as numbers or as a quant or some kind of data points, I want to understand who the consumers are and really get down to what drives them at their core. So that customer philosophy is really getting down to who are my consumers, who are my customers, why do they buy from me, what do they expect from me as a brand or as a product or even as a service, and how do I fulfill that requirement. I don't want to do things outside of my charter. I want to sort of live within the place that they believe me to be. And if I want to change their attitude, then I can work to do that within that relationship. So treating people beyond numbers and understanding them qualitatively. So what I find is that companies learn about their consumers or their customers in silos. So they go out and they do these studies, they find out information about why they buy from a company, find out why they may be getting support, what they need along the way. But they don't do a good job of sharing that knowledge across the organization. So as I move from acquisition to support to maybe the end of a cycle within a buying purchase process, I'm not treated the same way because one group knows me one way and another group knows me the other way. So by centralizing that information and understanding who the consumer is, I can treat them as the same person from point A to point Z. And so companies have always had these problems, right? They talk about themselves internally, oh, well, that's marketing, or that's customer support, or that's fulfillment. And they really need to think more holistically because the customer and the consumer does not see them differently. And they want to be treated the same and understood from the beginning of the life cycle to the end. And that's a strong argument for preference management, right? Because you need to centralize your data of your customer into one place. All of your systems need to go to that place and say, who is this person and why am I talking to them? And how can I talk to them? Yeah, that's a big one because what happens within a company is they sort of see themselves divisionally, especially companies where they may have done acquisitions and they have different parts of the organization, and the customer looks at them as one brand. So you have to look at yourself as that brand and understand how consumers view you and match their expectations throughout the journey. Some great examples of that are customers who, Starbucks is one of my favorite places, and when Starbucks decided to introduce food into their environment, they made sure to buy ovens that you couldn't smell the food because they knew it was all about the coffee when you walked in. So they really wanted to match their customers' expectations in that experience. So companies need to know who they are to a consumer and really live within it and be okay with it. Don't do something that customers don't expect. And if you do want to be something different, figure out how to take the path from where you are to where you want to be. Don't try to make a wholesale change.